I want to jump in with a quote from you. And you once said, no matter how hard you try to empower your life, you'll still feel frustrated by your perceived lack of progress and achievement if you're unaware of your own values and you keep trying to live by somebody else's. John, this is such a powerful concept, and I'm wondering if we jump in there because I think so many people today feel lost. You know, people talk about my purpose and all these things. And John, in the last 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we've been bombarded via social media with everyone else's version of what we should be doing, much more than when you and I were kids, right? And I'm wondering, how do you explain to people that in all likelihood, they maybe are living someone else's version of themselves and not their true version?
Well, everybody, regardless of gender or age or culture, has an intrinsic set of values that they're attempting to live by. And it determines your perception, decisions, and actions. Therefore, your destiny. So tell me what the hierarchy of your values are, and I'll tell you how you're going to make decisions and move. You're constantly making decisions based on what you believe will give you the greatest advantage or disadvantage at any moment in time, based on what you're perceiving, and you're even perceiving and filtering your world according to those values. What happens, though, is sometimes people compare themselves with a law of contrast to other people. And they put sometimes people on the pedestal. They think, well, that guy's more intelligent, or that guy's more successful, that guy's more wealthy, that guy's got a more stable relationship, that guy's got, or gal has more social standing, that person's more fit, that person's more spiritually aware. The moment they exaggerate somebody else, because they don't know them, they're making presumptions, and exaggerate them, and then minimize themselves by contrast. The way values work in the society is whoever has the most power down to least power, values automatically go from greater power to least power. So they will inject those values into their life and then take those in. Freud called that the superego, which is an injection of an outer authority's values into your life. And then you'll second guess your own hierarchy of values, attempt to live by somebody else's values, and then beat yourself up when you're being futilely pursuing something that's not really authentic to you, as a feedback mechanism to guide you back to what is authentic. And then you'll beat yourself up and think, why can't I stay focused? Why am I not disciplined? Why do I keep sabotaging? Why am I not making things happen? And you're not designed to do because you're trying to be second at being somebody else instead of first at being you. And the most powerful you is the authentic you based on what's truly most important to you. But we don't honor that because we do comparisons. Imagine 3 little beakers of water. The middle beaker is 72 degrees, tepid. And one is 40 degrees, cold. One's 140 degrees, hot. If you put thermometers in there, they'll give you objective readings, 40, 72, 140. But if all of a sudden you put your hand into the 40 degrees and leave it there for a while and it gets cold, take it out and put it into the tepid, you will register that, and you, instead of being accurate in your assessment, you'll think it's about 90 degrees. If you take it out and let it go back to tepid, put it in the 140 and let it sit there and burn a bit, and then take it out and put it in the tepid, you'll think it's about 50 degrees. So your subjective bias, misinterpretation and distortion of your reality occurs the moment you do a comparison to something that's bigger or greater or lesser than you. So anytime you put something on a pedestal, you'll tend to minimize yourself. Anytime you put something in a pit, you'll tend to exaggerate yourself. And when we exaggerate and minimize ourselves, we're not ourselves. We're putting on a facade of pride or shame, aggrandizement or self-depreciation, instead of be ourselves. So therefore, we'll tend to set too big of goals in too short a time frame to humble ourselves, or too small a game for too long a time to build ourselves, to try to home us back in and to that authentic self. And every symptom we experience in our life is a homeostatic mechanism to guide us back to authenticity. And when we do, and we learn how to interpret our symptoms, all business symptoms, psychological symptoms, physiological symptoms, and guide us back to authenticity, we empower our lives. So what we do is we compare ourselves to others instead of compare our daily actions to what we value most.
Whew, that's heavy. And we're constantly getting feedback in the form of, I guess, pain in our lives to show us that we need to go back to authentic self.
Yeah.
And yet these days when we get pain, we're told to take a pill or watch some movies or buy some stuff. I mean, is it true a lot of times we don't honor or recognize these these markers that are trying to show us to go back to authenticity?
We're not trained in applied physiology, so we're not learning that each of the symptoms in our body are feedback mechanisms. If you go out and you pig out and you overeat, and you wake up stuffed, you feel fatigued, you're having difficulty breathing, maybe you have a nasal congestion, you have cramps and bloat and flatulence or something. You go to the medical doctor, and the allopathic physician will give you a pharmaceutical because they're pharmaceutical reps. So you get all these pharmaceutical for it. And then they'll suppress that and palliatively suppress that, and now you feel better, so you go out and continue to do the foolish act. But really, all of those symptoms are feedback mechanisms. If you know how to read the autonomics and the physiology, it's a feedback mechanism to guide you to eat wisely. Because the second you eat wisely and moderately and rhythmically, your physiology is uneven, you're not aware of it, it's just flowing. So the symptoms are feedback. The psychological symptoms in our life are also feedback. And the sociological feedback is also there. So if we get puffed up and cocky, people tend to criticize us because we tend to narcissistically project our values onto them and expect them to live in our values, which is futile. So they tend to criticize and challenge us to humble us back into authenticity. And then we'll be addicted to, our amygdala wants us to be addicted to be proud, but what we're doing is we're actually needing those people to bring us back into authenticity where we are authentic. So the second we go down, have people lift us up. We go above, they get us down. Kind of like a resistance factor on the market when it goes up and an assistance factor when it goes down. We tend to, over or under. But nature is trying to get us back. So physiologically, psychologically, sociologically, there are feedback mechanisms, homeostats, trying to help us maximize our potential in life. If we know how to interpret them and see everything on the way, not in the way, we use it wisely, and we don't have to be governed from the outside because we're self-governed from the inside, because we're interpreting reality in a way that allows us to maximize our potential.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm gonna tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up.
If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you gonna do? What's the choice that you're going to make?